You know the feeling. The first snowflake starts to fall, and suddenly everyone's an expert on which car is the absolute best for driving in the snow. We all tend to picture a big, tough SUV or a pickup truck, right? I mean, they just look the part. But what if that's not the whole story? We're going to dig into this and figure out what really makes a difference when the roads get nasty. Okay, just look at this street. This is the kind of scene that gives a lot of drivers some serious anxiety. So let me ask you, which one of these cars do you think is handling it best? The big one? Maybe the smaller sedan? Well, the answer might actually surprise you, because it has a lot less to do with the car's size and a whole lot more to do with how it actually gets its power down onto the pavement. And that quote right there, that's really the heart of what we're talking about today. Turns out what most people think is the best for snow often isn't. So let's bust some of these common myths and get to the bottom of what gives you real confidence and grip in winter weather. All right, let's kick things off with the heavy hitters. The two systems that everyone immediately thinks of when you say winter driving: all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. These are the ones with the big reputations. But do you know how they actually work? So all-wheel drive is kind of like the smart automatic system, the jack of all trades. Most of the time, your car is just cruising along, acting like a normal two-wheel drive vehicle. But the instant it senses a wheel start to slip, a clever computer automatically sends power to the other wheels that have more grip. It all happens behind the scenes. You don't have to push a single button. It's just always on, always ready. So how does that translate to snow? Well, an AWD car on regular all-season tires does pretty well, for sure. But if you really want to see what it can do, you have to pair it with winter tires. That's when it becomes this incredibly sure-footed winter machine. And it's cool to note, some AW vehicles will even let you switch over to two-wheel drive on dry roads, which helps you save a little bit on gas. Now let's talk about AWD's tougher, more rugged cousin, four-wheel drive, or, 4x4. If AWD is the jack of all trades, think of four-wheel drive as the heavy-duty specialist. See, this isn't an automatic system. It's when you, the driver, have to actually turn on with a button or a lever. It's built for tougher, more extreme conditions, and it gives you way more direct control. And this is exactly where four-wheel drive really shines. We're talking deep, unplowed snow, muddy trails, serious off-roading, with different modes like 4-high for just slippery roads, and 4-low for incredible stump-pulling torque that lets you crawl through the really tough stuff. 4WD is designed to just power through conditions where pretty much anything else would get stuck. Okay, but let's be real. Most of us aren't driving heavy-duty trucks every day. So what about the cars that most people actually have? Let's talk about the two most common setups you'll find out there: front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. So first up is the real underdog of this whole debate: front-wheel drive. This is the system in most sedans and smaller SUVs on the road today, and its secret weapon for winter driving? Well, it's just basic physics. The heaviest part of the car, the engine, is sitting right on top of the front wheels, the wheels that are actually doing the work of pulling the car. All that weight pushes them down onto the road, which is a huge help for traction. And this right here breaks it down perfectly. Think of it this way: front-wheel drive pulls the car. That engine weight helps those front tires really dig in and bite into the snow. Rear-wheel drive, on the other hand, pushes the car from the much lighter back end. And without that weight holding it down, it's way easier for those rear wheels to start spinning, which can cause that scary, heart-stopping, sideways slide we all know as a fishtail. Okay, so we've looked at all four systems. AWD and 4WD are obviously great. Front-wheel drive is actually pretty good, and rear-wheel drive can be a little tricky. But here's the thing. We've completely missed the single biggest factor, the one thing that makes every single one of these systems better in the winter. So what do you think it is? What's the one component that actually connects your car with all its fancy technology to that slippery, icy road? Yep, it's the tires. It all comes down to those 4 little patches of rubber that are your only connection to the ground. It doesn't matter what kind of drivetrain you have if your tires can't get a grip. And honestly, if you take only one thing away from this, let it be this: a simple front-wheel drive car on a good set of winter tires will almost always be safer and have more grip than a big, fancy all-wheel drive SUV that's running on worn-out all-season tires. Tires are the great equalizer. They are that important. So now that we know all this, how do you pick? What's actually the right setup for you for the kind of winters you have to deal with? Let's just break it down with this really simple chart. If you live somewhere with little to no snow, hey, any drivetrain is going to be just fine. For moderate snow, which, let's face it, is a lot of us, AWD, 4WD, and yes, even a well-equipped front-wheel drive car are all great choices. Now, for those of you who get hit with really intense, heavy snow all winter, that's where AWD and 4WD really earn their keep. But remember, what's the one thing all of these need to work their best? Good tires. And I'll just leave you with this final little thought. We've spent this whole time talking about which drivetrain is best for getting you moving in the snow, but when it really, truly counts, what helps you slow down and stop safely? Your drivetrain can't help you there. Only your brakes can, and of course your tires. So drive safe out there.